The title of this devotion is called James the Artist. James, whom his family lovingly called the Artist, was born into a large family consisting of his parents, John and Cynthia Hill, and 10 siblings. There were 3 boys and 8 girls. James was the oldest. They lived in a small home in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. The family had very little by means of material things, but James always knew that his parents dearly loved all their children. He was born during the Great Depression. During this time, his father worked as a lumberjack for 50 cents a day. He had to work 7 days a week to feed his family. His dad was 40 years old, but looked all of 75 due to physical hard work. His mother always looked beautiful to James, but poverty and raising 11 children had taken its toll on her youth. James and his siblings had to work hard as well, but all the children were permitted to go to school. It was very important to his parents that their children receive an education. James thought it was his parents' way of trying to free their children from the poverty that they had been born into. They went to school 3 days a week, and 3 days a week they worked at home taking care of chores that had to be done. On Sunday, their mother took them all to church. Their father could rarely attend due to working and hunting to keep food on their table. They would come home and their mother would cook Sunday dinner. They ate when their father got home from work. After dinner, the children could have free time to play, explore in the mountains, or just rest. James would always draw pictures. Ever since he was little, he would draw at every opportunity he had. He was now 19 years old and he was feeling restless. For the last few years, he felt anger building up inside him towards God. He watched his father grow old while he was still fairly young, and his mother grow thinner and weaker with each passing year. He thought to himself, I've got to get out of here or I will end up just like my father. He planned to leave in the morning before dawn. He couldn't bear to tell his family. He told himself that he would come back in a few weeks. Morning came and he took off walking, not knowing where he would end up. He felt so guilty. He knew his parents would worry about what happened to him, and he knew they needed his help at home. He walked for days blaming God for the whole situation. He would rest, draw, and walk some more. He ate berries or anything he could find along the way. He didn't know how far he had traveled when he came across a homestead. He could see that this landowner was a farmer. He had a large, beautiful house surrounded by tobacco fields and pastures with sheep, cows, and horses. Chickens and geese ran free around the house. There was a large pond on one side of the house, and James could just imagine that it was loaded with fish. James had never seen such prosperity. He was so hungry that he went up and knocked on the door. A middle-aged man came to the door. "Can I help you, son?" the man said. "I was wondering, sir, would you have some work I could do for a meal and a place to sleep this evening?" asked James. "Well, I could always use another pair of hands around the barn," said the man, and he put James to work cleaning out the stalls and putting in fresh straw for the animals to sleep on. It was almost dark when the man told James to wash up outside and come in for supper. There were 2 long tables in the kitchen. The man and his wife and 4 children ate at one table, and 10 farmhands, including James, ate at the other table. James was so hungry he barely tasted his food. The food filled his stomach, but there was something about his mother's cooking that also filled his soul. He noticed the man's family did not say grace at the table, and James never heard God mentioned at all. The atmosphere felt cold and lonely, not at all like the love and joy he had had at home. This family had so many material things and didn't have a need for anything. But James could not help but notice they didn't have the joy and happiness that his family at home had. After supper, the farmhands made a pallet in the barn to sleep on. James was grateful for a place to sleep, but it didn't compare to the bedding his mother had put on his bed at home. His mother didn't have much, but everything she did for her family was done with love. James had learned a dear lesson in the short time he had been away from home. Everything he ever wanted or needed, he already had at home. He made up his mind to head back home tomorrow morning. It seemed the walk back home was so much longer than when he first left home. When he got tired, he would rest and draw. All his drawings were of his family back at home. He thought of his father cutting trees and splitting wood, and how much his father had depended on his help moving heavy logs. He thought of his mother at the house cooking a meal and staring at his empty chair at the table. He thought about his two younger brothers that undoubtedly had to help their father now that he wasn't there. He thought of his 8 younger sisters that would pose and let him draw their portrait, and how proud they were when he gave them the drawing. His mother would hang all his sketches and paintings in their home. The walls were covered with them. He missed his family and the love that they had for each other. He missed going to church with the family, even though he was still mad at God. He was lonely, hungry, thirsty, and dirty. He sat down on the ground and leaned his head back against a large oak tree. He poured his heart out to God for forgiveness of his sins and for being angry with him for so long. He confessed to God his selfishness and dissatisfaction with his life. He asked God to bless his family back at home and soften their hearts toward him. He prayed they would forgive him and let him come home. He got up and started for home. After a few days of walking, the family home came into view. When he got to the edge of the property, he was shocked to see his father home at this time of day. His parents had been sitting on the porch. When they saw him, they started running towards him with their arms outstretched and tears running down their faces. He quietly thanked God. He was home and he was loved. The moral of this story is, no matter how far you have strayed away from God, he is waiting for you to come back home. Luke 15:18 through 24 says, I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of the hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Child
that